Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things, and today I'm here with the new Wet n Wild holiday collection that is for sale at Walgreens. I asked you guys in my haul video if you wanted to see a review of this collection. I got a lot of yeses, so that's what we're doing in this video. So if you want to see my review of this collection, then keep on watching. Let's go. So this is the Wet n Wild holiday collection brush set. This costs $30. It does say it's a $90 value in the box. I do want to review these brushes, compare them to some of my other Wet n Wild brushes, so you guys have an idea if this is something you'd want to get. Here are the actual brushes that come in the set. So these do not have brush names on them. Some of the older ones have like a brush name. These do not. I will let you know what they call these brushes though. So we have the shader eye brush, the tapered blending brush, the flat contour brush, the flat foundation brush, the large powder brush, the blush brush, the fan brush, the tapered highlighting brush, the fluffy blending brush, and the concealer brush. Now, I do have a few notes to make on this. So the actual shape of these brushes are the same as the brushes that came in the Fire and Ice collection. I only grabbed the ice one because I think the bronzer brush was sold out by then, but I did get the highlighting brush, and it does have the same design on the bottom, just rather than red and blue like the Fire and Ice collection, these are all a metallic pink. Next, some of these brushes are very similar to brushes that already exist. So I have the P20 brush, and I do believe that is the same as this brush over here. I also have the P15 brush, which I believe is the same brush as this brush over here. Now, just looking at this collection as a whole, the two brushes that I am the least likely to use are the fan brush and this contour brush. I do wish they would have included something like the P65, which is the brush that I use to set my under eye powder all the time. However, for $30, you are getting 10 brushes, so that comes out to $3 a brush. So that's not really a bad deal, especially with brushes as nice as the chrome Wet n Wild brushes, I guess we can call, because I've really enjoyed all of my chrome Wet n Wild brushes that I've gotten in the past, more so than the original white ones that they have. So I am going to test out every brush in this collection, even if it's not something I would typically use, like for example, like I don't usually use a brush for concealer, but I will be testing it out in this video, see if it's worth money. I also did get the mini Catsuits. I will be testing out these. This is a $10 set, which I'm realizing is not a great deal, and I can get to that later. And finally, I also have the new highlighter palette. This does cost $15 and looks like this. And I'm going to both use this, I think, for highlighting and maybe a little bit of eyeshadow today, since there are a variety of colors. So let's get the party started. Okay, so the first thing I will be testing is the foundation brush. It is very soft and fluffy. I will say, I don't know if it's going to be dense enough to be a good foundation brush, but let's try it out. That just gave me such good coverage. I'm so surprised. Okay, so far, this half I used the brush on. Not one streak mark. I don't see any hairs have fallen out of the brush. I am so surprised. Wow. I can tell you hands down, this is the best foundation brush I've ever used that came from a drugstore brand. The next thing I'm going to try is the concealer brush. Like I said, this is something I typically don't reach for in a brush collection, but we can try it out. So I don't think that worked very well. I prefer something more like this that really gets in there rather than a flat brush. So the next brush is also one I don't typically reach for, and this is the cream contour brush. Typically I would use a beauty blender to cream contour, but I will be trying it out with a brush today. Okay, I really actually liked that. I don't know if I've ever used a brush like this before, but I think it did a really good job. So to set my under eyes, I do want to use my old Wet n Wild P65 brush. I think this is the best brush I own for this. I really think they could have included something more like this instead of two forms of highlighting brushes. To set the rest of my face, I will use the large powder brush. This is really, really nice and floppy, which is what I like when I set my face. Okay, so now I want to do swatches of the highlighter palette. So the first shade here is White Lily, and that's like a white iridescent. The next shade here is called Blossom Glow, and that has like a pinky iridescent shift. The next shade here is called Golden Flower Crown, and that's a pretty golden highlight. And then this last shade here is called Paradise Bloom. So I did wind up picking this palette up. I never got their old highlighting palette because I felt like the colors were really unusable, whereas I feel like I could use these more. So I'm going to not only highlight with these, but I think I might use a little bit of this in my eyeshadow look today. I will be using our eyeshadow brushes today. Like I said, these two brushes do already exist in their collection that I know of. I don't know about this one. I don't have the full former collection, so I cannot speak to that. I will say I do really like their P10 brush for shading under the lower lash line, so there is not that in this collection. I will start with the light tapered brush, and I am going to be using my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I will be going in with a brown shade on the lid. And then I am going to use the fluffy brush in the crease. Now I'm going to take our packer brush with the shade Paradise Bloom and put that all over the lid. That just transforms the eyes. That's so pretty. I'm going to add a little of Golden Flower Crown right in the center. I'm gonna try it with my finger. Oh wow. And then I want to use White Lily in the inner corner. Ooh, I love it. Would not say I'm shocked, but I really do like the eyeshadow brushes. I think they did a really great job. Okay, so I did put on a little bronzer off camera. That would be something else that's missing in this collection. They do not have a bronzer brush. I know the Fire brush from the Fire and Ice collection was a bronzer brush, but that has been out of stock forever. I don't know if it's ever coming back. I will use their blush brush though now. Okay, I do really like this. I think it has the right like amount of like fluffiness so that it doesn't disperse everything patchy. So this is good for me. So to highlight, I do want to use the shade Blossom Glow. We did get two highlighting brushes, so I guess I'm going to test one on each cheek and see how it works. I will say I usually do not use fan brushes, so I don't know how this is gonna work. I don't really have much to compare it to. It's like floppy. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I feel like it very lightly disperses the highlight. Now let's try it with the fluffier one. So I feel like that disperses it a lot more evenly. Yeah, I definitely prefer this one. So I kind of wish instead of this brush, they either had something for bronzer or like an under eye setting brush, because it just seems like silly to have two highlighting brushes in this set, honestly. I'm going to add in a little bit of the golden too and see how it looks. Pretty. Okay, so for the last part of the holiday collection, I have the Wet n Wild Mini Liquid Catsuits. And now I realize this is probably the one that's not the greatest deal of everything. So this is $10 for 4 colors, but a full size costs $5. So you're basically paying for 2 full sizes and getting 4 minis. So I feel like it's sort of the same price, you're just getting more colors for your price. But another issue I have with this is it doesn't say anywhere on the packaging or on the actual physical minis that I have found the colors. And I had to go online and I had to find the shade names online. So according to Wet n Wild's website, we have Rebel Rose, Berry Recognize, Life Snow Picnic, and Acai So Serious. I will say I already have Rebel Rose in a full size, so this one will be going in a giveaway, but I will do lip swatches of all the shades and let you know what I think. And I'm going to start with the metallic because that's the one I'm the most curious about because I don't typically like metallic lips. Okay, so this is Acai So Serious. Actually, for being a metallic lip, it's not that bad. I feel like sometimes they are just too shiny and show off how crusty your lips are, but I don't know, I kind of like this color. I did not see that coming. I'm very surprised. On to the next shade. Okay, so this is Life Snow Picnic, and honestly, this was with only one dip. I didn't re-dip, one swipe around, and there's a lot of pigment for this red. I don't think I've ever tried one of the darker shades as far as the liquid catsuits go, so I'm liking this one too. Okay, on to the next shade. Okay, this is very recognized. I would consider this one a little bit more of a sheer color, but it's almost like a Your Lips but better, almost nudie kind of color, and I do like it a lot. And finally, I will use my full size of Rebel Rose and save the mini for a giveaway. Okay, and here is Rebel Rose. Rebel Rose is probably my most worn of my liquid catsuit collection. I wear it to work all the time. And yeah, that is it for this video. Honestly, if I had to say something. So for the brush collection, I would say this is definitely worth $30. However, I do wish that there wasn't two highlighting brushes and that they did throw a different type of brush in it. But I was very pleased with this brush. The only one I really did not find useful was the concealer brush, and that's because that's not really my preferred application method. I really do love these highlights in this collection. These are gorgeous. And if you have been looking to get a bunch of new liquid catsuits, I really do like all of these colors. I think it's a good deal if you want 4 colors for the price of 2, of course. And yeah, that is it for this video. Let me know. Have any of you guys checked out anything from this collection? Are you looking to grab any of it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. As usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Poshmark down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!